Welcome back to Fame Society. What is expected to be a flood of lawsuits over deaths and injuries associated with the Astro World Festival has begun in earnest, with at least two actions filed in Houston, Texas courts over the weekend. Travis Scott, who produced and headlined the event, has been named in all three lawsuits. 8 people ranging in age from 14 to 27 died at the event, and 13 others reportedly remain in the hospital with critical injuries. In this video, we are going to discuss Travis Scott's suit over Astroworld disaster. The video is going to be amazing, so make sure you stick till the end. The lawsuits include allegations that Scott and surprise performer Drake incited the crowd and that concert producer Live Nation failed to provide adequate safety measures. The rappers and Live Nation have not responded directly to the lawsuits. Scott has said he is working to help the families of the victims. The surge began at 21:15 local time on Friday, when panic broke out as the crowd pressed towards the front of the stage during Scott's headline set. The lawsuit calls the festival disaster a predictable and preventable tragedy that was motivated by profit at the expense of concertgoers' health and safety, as Billboard reports, expected to be the first of many filed over Astroworld. The suit was filed Saturday, November 6th in Houston's Harris County District Court by injured courtgoer Manuel Souza, who accuses the organizers of negligence and cross-negligence and is seeking at least $1 million in damages. The complaint claims organizers disregarded potential warning signs early in the day, such as when concertgoers breached a security gate around the park, stampeded into the premises, and trampled over one another before a raucous and ultimately deadly Friday night performance in Houston. The city's police chief met with the rapper Travis Scott to express his concern. Their conversation lasted a few minutes, Houston Police Chief Troy Finner said in a statement released Monday. Finner said he conveyed his concerns regarding public safety at the Astroworld Festival to Scott and the artist's head of security. Later that night, a high-energy scene turned deadly when the crowd surged toward the stage as Scott performed. The crush and chaos killing 8 who range in age from 14 to 27 and injuring scores more. In the days since the event, scrutiny of the festival's organizers, its security personnel, and Scott, a Houston native and local hero, has mounted along with the legal fallout as lawsuits have also begun to pile up. One expert estimated the potential liability to be astronomical. McLeod added, "We will be investigating this strategy over the next few days and hope to shed light on what happened and provide answers to victims and the families of those victims. No one should ever attend a concert in fear. This must stop." These lawsuits quickly proved true, a statement made earlier by Randy Sorrells, past president of the State Bar of Texas, who had told the Houston Chronicle. Litigation will be filed by the end of the Monday or sooner because lawyers representing the victims need to move quickly to secure the evidence at the scene and to make sure evidence is not destroyed or tampered with. The timeline of events that led to the fatalities still remains unclear, but attendee videos and witness testimonies appear to indicate that fans were being crushed in the overcrowded space as concertgoers surged toward the stage during Scott's performance. Houston-based lawyer Tony Busby announced on Monday that his firm was filing a lawsuit on behalf of 35 plaintiffs over the gross negligence that led to the tragedy. Mr. Busby said the lawsuit was against Scott and the event's promoters and management, including entertainment company Live Nation, for failing to implement a proper security and emergency response measures. His firm is seeking a temporary restraining order that would compel Scott and all the entities named in the lawsuit to preserve evidence, including texts and other communications regarding the event. Among those represented by Mr. Busby is the family of Axel Acosta, a 21-year-old from Washington state who died in the stampede. When Axel collapsed, concertgoers trying to escape their own suffocation trampled over his body like a piece of trash, Mr. Busby said. Another suit filed by 23-year-old attendee Christian Paredes accuses Scott and Drake of inciting a riot and violence and claims the venue and Live Nation failed to provide adequate security and medical services. The suit, seeking $1 million in damages, says Mr. Paredes felt an immediate push at the front of the general admission section Before the crowd became chaotic and stampede began, many begged security guards hired by Live Nation Entertainment for help but were ignored. It adds, Mr. Paredes is described as having suffered severe bodily injuries. Police officials said promoters Live Nation agreed to cut Scott's show short after multiple people collapsed at 9:38 p.m., but Scott's set continued for another 37 minutes. As Houston Chronicle reports, a 14-year-old and 16-year-old were among the 8 fatalities, while other victims range in age from 17 to 21. Scott stopped several times throughout his 75-minute performance, asking security to check on patrons in distress, but has been criticized on social media over footage acknowledging an ambulance in the crowd and continuing to perform. Other videos online show audience members attempting to stop the show and draw attention to the crush. Harris County officials identified the 8 victims as John Hilgert, 14, Brianna Rodriguez, 16, Jacob Juranek, 20, 21-year-olds Franco Patino and Axel Acosta, 23-year-olds Rodolfo Peña and Madison Dubisky, and 27-year-old Danish Baig. Autopsies have been completed, a spokesperson for the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences said, but it could take several weeks to determine the cause and manner of death. In his statement, Finner said he had asked Scott and his team to work with police and to be mindful of his team's social media messaging on any unscheduled events. The police chief described his meeting as brief and respectful. He called on people to be considerate of the grieving families during this incredibly difficult time. Police continue to lift them up in prayer. The concert, which included Drake coming on stage for the final songs of Scott's performance, was being webcast live to a worldwide audience by Apple Music. The second night of the festival, planned to unfold Saturday, was immediately canceled as the extent of the casualties of the first night became evident. Scott has expressed sorrow over the devastation that occurred during his set, and although he paused the show upon seeing an ambulance to acknowledge possible issues in the crowd, has said he had no idea serious injuries or deaths were occurring. I am absolutely devastated by what took place last night, the star wrote on social media Saturday. My prayers go out to the families and all those impacted by what happened at Astro World Festival. The lawsuit says that the festival organizers blatantly ignored potential warning signs that compromised the safety of the event even before performances had started. The suit continues to lay blame on the show's organizers for allowing Scott's performance to continue even after ambulances had arrived to treat attendees who had suffered a serious, obvious injury. Eventually, due to the defendant's active decision to let the show go on, the scene devolved into a complete melee, resulting in the needless, untimely death of at least 8 people and injuries to a score of others. The suit says it is not the first time that Scott has faced legal action over a concert. In 2018, he pleaded guilty to a public disorder charge after he was accused of encouraging people to rush the stage at a concert in the U.S. state of Arkansas. According to a local newspaper, he also paid nearly $7,000 to 2 people who said they were injured at the event. In his first statement after the crash on Friday, Scott said he was committed to working together with the Houston community to heal and support the families in need. He has since promised to cover the funeral expenses for the 8 concertgoers who died and announced a partnership with online therapy provider BetterHelp, which will see the company offer 1 month of the free therapy for anyone impacted by Friday's events. Meanwhile, Drake posted a statement on Instagram saying his heart is broken for the families and friends of those who lost their lives and for anyone who is suffering. Scott has collected misdemeanor convictions in 2 states in recent years after authorities said he encouraged unruly audience behavior. In social media videos over the weekend, the performer said he is cooperating with Houston investigators. My fans really mean the world to me, he said. I am honestly just devastated. Anytime I could make out anything that was going on, I stopped the show and helped them get the help they need, he added, in an apparent reference to other concerts. I could just never imagine the severity of the situation. This was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon for more updates and notifications. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.